Hey guys, Bearded Viking Gamer here, and today I have an awesome little pickups video for you. I've been waiting since we did that 500 subscriber giveaway, which that was a whole fun process. But I've been waiting with some of these things on this table, and I want to show some of these things off to you guys and show you some of the stuff that I was able to find, even some of the deals that I was able to find for $5 a piece, things like that. Yeah, I have some random things in here, so I'm going to jump from, Nintendo 64 to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 2, Sega Saturn, some stuff like that. So stay tuned and let's do this. Alright, so what I was able to find here, one of the first things I was able to get, actually this was from a buddy from work. He was able to find me. He saw in one of my older videos that I came across a old PlayStation Interact controller that has, auto fire and slow-mo and stuff like that. And my buddy Ben was able to find one of these at a Goodwill as well for me. And this one's in a little better condition than the one I was able to find, because one of the shoulder buttons on mine was kind of damaged a little bit. I had to take it apart and do some cleaning and stuff on there to get it to come back to where it can pop. But this one looks pretty clean. I do have to do a little bit of cleaning on here. It still has like a little, a couple marks and things on it. But it's cool. It's got auto fire on it. It's just one of the controllers you don't normally see for a PlayStation. And that's just awesome for these little, if you have a shmup or any of those type of titles, if you have auto fire, and it's totally cheating, but it's so much fun when you have that thing just randomly just cranking out bullets. Makes it a fun thing. So thanks, Ben, for keeping an eye out for me. All right, here up next was this was my buddy Sean saw this, and I did not have it in the collection. This is another Nintendo 64 title, but this is Hybrid Heaven, Hybrid Heaven, and I had never played this before. It is a Konami title, and I'm super excited to get in there. I'm going to clean this thing up before I put it in the system. I always want to do that because you never want to get your systems dirty by putting dirty games in there, and then you have to clean the system. It's just a pain in the butt. So once you clean these games and you keep putting the clean stuff in your system, you're going to be good to go. So can't wait to try this one out. This looks kind of crazy. All right, so here is a couple of. This was a PlayStation 2 game. This is The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius Jet Fusion for the PS2. Just these were super cheap, guys. I think they were $2 a pop. I think my mom found some of these at a thrift store, and she called me up and told me she had found some games. I need to swing by by her house and pick some of these things up. This was one that was Thrillville, Off the Rails for the Wii. Didn't have it. I think she paid $2 a piece on these. And this was PlayStation 2 Bad Boys Miami Takedown. Okay, there's GameStop stickers or something all over them still. This was Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. Of course, the Hitmans were awesome. Yeah, these were such good games. Loved Hitman. I remember the first one, man, you opening up that. I played it on PC, the very first Hitman, and when you get up to that rooftop and you pull out your briefcase and you grab your 2 pieces of your sniper rifle and you start putting everything together, I'm like, this is freaking badass, dude! I can't wait. And you just start sniping in on one of the people you were targeting. It was so cool back in the day. Now you look at those graphics now and you're like, man, that's horrible looking, but it was so fun. That was so awesome back then. This is Blazing Angels Squadrons of World War II for the PlayStation 3. These are fun little flyers and stuff. They're super cheap too. I mean, gosh. Here was one that I had found. This is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube. It is complete in the box, but I didn't have that one, so I was surprised. Here was another one. This is a RPG. This is Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Little RPG there. Alright, and then now I was able to, my wife and I had our anniversary in here, and on our way back we stopped at a thrift store on the way back, which is freaking awesome. I love that woman. Anyways, in that thrift store there was some retro stuff in there, and I had picked up some Intellivision games. And I was able to find this. Here's one of the Intellivision games. This was Tron the Solar Sailor. Sorry. And this works with the Intellivision, or I'm sorry, the IntelliVoice module kit for the Intellivision. Any of these gold ones on here work for that. And that was like turning times where video games actually talk to you. It's kind of crazy. It was horrible sounding, but hey, they were talking to you. But yeah, Tron Solar Sailor. I have Tron Mazatron, also for the Intellivision. Here was another one here. This one's Bomb Squad, another gold label, so this will work for the IntelliVoice module. Here was one Sewer Sam. I mean, you don't really come across a lot of these anymore. This was Venture. This is kind of common, Venture one. I just didn't have it in there. This was freaking badass. This is Masters of the Universe, The Power of He-Man for the Intellivision. That was freaking cool. When I saw that, this deck, I'm like, for sure, buying that. And then this one surprised me too. Anything horror, you know, but Dracula for the Intellivision. Freaking awesome. Look at that back there. It's old, man. That was on early 80s. Here's a couple more. This one was Tropical Trouble. Look at that artwork back there. Jeez. Just cheeseball, but that's what there was back then. This one here is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This is another good one in there. This is cheapy, maybe like $6 or $7 maybe. This was $2 though, man. I paid $2 for it. This was one I had just never seen. This was Blockade Runner, and I never played this title, but it looked cool. Looked cool on there. And it's cool having a phone nowadays. Back then, when you had retro video games and you were looking for stuff like, oh man, I wonder what that game was like, you couldn't do it. You couldn't get on there and do it. But now you have your phone. You can pull up gameplay footage. You can, see if it's something it's worthwhile. It's something that you would play. That's what's awesome about it. And then also the last thing on there was the IntelliVoice voice synthesis module, and this is very clean actually. 1981. And this was in there, and I believe this was, I want to say this was $8 for the actual module itself, but it's very, very clean, or else I wouldn't have picked it up. But yeah, this just attaches to the side of your Intellivision, like on the side, and then your cartridges go on here, and this thing, actually, you can turn the volumes and stuff up on there, but it actually talks to you, like B-17 Bomber. It's real kind of cheeseball sounding, but... it's cool though, man. I love that kind of stuff. Here are two NES titles that I didn't have, and I always like to try to find stuff super cheap. And this one was Mag Max. This is a shooter. I'm sorry, this is I think it's side scroller on this one. Mag Max for the NES. And then this one was Zanuck, and I never see this one really anywhere. So this is a shooter though. Yeah, and I just love those types for the NES. It's a lot of fun. I also picked up a PlayStation 1 title, and this is a cool RPG. This is from Squaresoft, and Vagrant Story. Looks freaking awesome. If you guys ever played Vagrant Story, of course, it's one of the top RPGs out there for the PlayStation. Right now, they have the demo going for Final Fantasy VII too. If you guys haven't played any of that, you guys get on the PlayStation Store and download that demo and get going with that. The music's freaking awesome. They did a really good job with that. Anybody who memorized the music and stuff, played it a ton back in the day, Final Fantasy VII, you'll know that music anywhere. And then they added on top of that with their mix of orchestra and stuff. It's pretty cool, man. It's different, the fighting style, but it is cool. I can't wait for that to come out. I will for sure pick it up. I don't know how far in the game they actually go with this, how they're doing it in sections, but it's going to be exciting anyways. I can't wait. Another title here. This I've been wanting since I walked in the shop here, and this is Shinobi Legions for the Sega Saturn. I'm a huge fan of Shinobi. I love the Shinobi titles, and this looks freaking amazing. Look at that. Shinobi Legions. it's going to be, oh, man, I can't wait to pop this one in here and play it. I always like to show you guys on here and clean up everything on here, and then, oh man, and actually it's in very good condition. It is missing the little styrofoam piece that goes across holding the disc in, but it has the manual, has the game, and it's actually really good condition, so I'm super happy to have that in there. Alright, now we're on to the last little bit of stuff. This is all PlayStation 4 titles. I was actually in Walmart, and I was looking for, let's see, where's the one game that actually I was going to pick up? Where is it here? It's probably at the bottom. Okay. Oh, here it is. So here was the one, actually, I was going to pick up just because it was at the end for their clearance items. Remember, I always tell you, go to the end of the aisles, they always have their clearance stuff sitting there. And this is just one I had not, it doesn't have in the collection, and it was super cheap. This was a $5 title. But this was Ugly Dolls, The Imperfect Adventure. Silly looking little game, but for $5, sealed, you know, might as well. While I was going in there to get that, I had to go get the guy behind the counter to come in, unlock it, and, you know, get the game out of there. Well, there was a basket sitting next to the table there, and it had a bunch of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One titles and things in there, but everything was $5 in that basket. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to get some of these for sure. So I went through some of them. Here was Agents Mayhem. $5 titles in here. I mean, these games aren't super expensive anyways, but to get them for $5, it's worth it. Dissidia, Final Fantasy. Awesome. Here was some more. They actually started putting stickers on these ones. This was XCOM 2 collection. The full collection of it. Here was Generation Zero. Of course, none of these I had in the collection, so I actually went back for a couple of my buddies. I went in for Sean, my buddy Sean and my buddy Adam. Got him a fighter game that was in there, and my buddy Sean a Doom game that was in there. It was that Doom VFR. So I picked that up for them, and those were $5 as well. So I already had them, but I wanted them to have them in their collection. And I didn't want them to miss out on that deal. Here was another one. This was Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition. You guys remember Mutant League Football? This one was Onrush Day 1 Edition. This is a racer. And I've never played this. Starting to peel, actually, on there. This one's Strange Brigade. Like I said, man, I picked up all these PlayStation 4 games, and they were like, it came out to like $48 and something for all these PlayStation 4 games sealed. You know, new. Strange Brigade. Looks kind of crazy on the back. $5, why not? Here's a VR title that was marked down to the $5. This was The Inpatient. Survival horror. Looks like on the back. I've never played it, so I don't know yet. Dead or Alive 5. Dead or Alive 6 was in that bundle there. Good little beat 'em up. And the last one here, I was super actually surprised to see this in here because I was looking at buying this back when it was like $30. And this was Fade to Silence, and I've never played it. Just looked interesting to me, so I wanted to pick it up, and then seeing it in that bin for $5, dude, hell yeah, I was going to do it. This was Fade to Silence. It just looks interesting. I don't know much about it. I just love that kind of artwork where you see stuff on the front cover and that just makes you want to get the game, you know? Huge fan of that stuff. I mean, artwork is where it's at, and you see that stuff on covers and you see things like that. It makes stuff pop, because back in the day when graphics and stuff weren't really the greatest, artwork was what sold the games. But yeah, that's what I have for the pickups this week. I have something in store for next week's video in here, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it.